All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 5. That is right, week number 5 of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and what we are going to do today is you are going to see a lot in this announcement, but trust me, it is for your own good. But this is going to be my announcement in regard to the LibGuide. And so there is another video for you to watch from a few semesters ago, and I'm going to explain that. And then there's also like tutorial and other stuff that you're going to see below this video in the announcement. But I still wanted to record this video because I do record the check-in video each semester, for each different class to kind of, let them know I'm here, I'm listening. We're going to get through this, okay? So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into a few things for a quick state of the course update. Okay, so for our state of the course update, what we need to do, and what is going on there? Okay, what we need to do for our state of the course update is come over here, and actually not over there, we're going to come over here, and we are going to make ourselves aware of two facts, of two things that are coming due. And so I need to click a few X's here. Okay, so the two things that we have due this coming Sunday, which is July the 7th, are going to be your discussion prompt number 6, which a lot of you have already done at this point. I just checked a few minutes ago and it looked like about 12 of you had already done yours. So you all are, or at least there were 12 posts in the discussion. Some of those could have been replies to other people though, but all of that to say that several of you have already gotten started on that, which is good. If you haven't gotten started on it, go ahead and do so. And you may want to also, I kind of glanced over the responses that, or the posts that your classmates have already done, and they look good. So if you are shy about what's going on with this discussion board prompt or that sort of thing, if you've got some questions, you may want to read over what your classmates have already done, and that may give you some ideas on how to proceed. So that's the first thing that I wanted you all to be aware of. And then the second thing that you need to be aware of about things coming due this weekend is that, yes, the Wikipedia edit assignment is also coming due. So I am about a fourth of the way done with grading the virtual reference assignments, but I plan and hope to have all of those graded and back to you all by Thursday night. But they should definitely be back to you by Saturday, of course. And then you can incorporate any feedback that I give you on your virtual reference assignment related to if you got some APA wrong or if you did some other things wrong or not by the rubric or something like that. I'm going to give you some notes and some feedback for that. If I feel that you're going to do fine on the Wikipedia edit based on how you did on the virtual reference assignment, I say that as well to you in my notes and feedback for that assignment, okay? So be on the lookout. Again, some of you have already gotten your grade and your feedback, but if you haven't gotten your grade and your feedback yet, just know that it is on its way, and I'm getting through it as quickly as I can, and you will have those soon. So again, you will be going into the weekend with your feedback, and so you should be able to, by Sunday night / Monday morning, be able to incorporate that feedback in the assignment that you turn in. Okay. All right, let's talk about some LibGuides. All right, so here's the first thing that we kind of need to look at when we talk about LibGuides here. Sorry about that. What we need to do is go to, excuse me. Okay, yeah, so when we talk about our LibGuides, again, I mentioned this before, but the LibGuide is due on July the 21st as is your final discussion prompt. So both of those are going to be due 2 weeks from Sunday. And when you talk about LibGuide, again, what I want to kind of show you all really quickly, just so you all are aware and that you're not blindsided, is that, again, and I think I mentioned this in the first check-in video as well, but this LibGuide has a very long rubric associated with it, okay? So there's a lot going on here, and I will be evaluating based on all of these rubric prongs and everything, which, by the way, this is a perfect time for me to say that one thing that I do want you all to realize is that hardly anyone gets a perfect grade on the LibGuide, okay? It just rarely ever happens, all right? And the reason I say that is because a lot of people who come into library school, they can be perfectionists and that kind of thing. And so they will kind of conclude that they did a bad job if they don't get this full 25 out of 25. And what I want to let you all know is that the assignment is actually, this assignment is built so that you're probably not going to get the full 25 out of 25, but if you get a 23 out of 25 or a 24 out of 25, that is actually okay. That's not something to be ashamed of. This is your practice sort of assignment, okay? It's you getting ready to go out there into the real world and make LibGuides, okay? But it's not necessarily that you are going to get a perfect LibGuide or anything like that. This is your preparation to try to do your best. What you are going to do with this LibGuide is going to be something that's going to be on a student level, most likely, not a professional level. But that's okay, because what you're going to do then is take the feedback that I give you and just kind of, internalize that. And then when you are ready to make professional LibGuides, when you are in professional practice, you will have done it before, so not everything will be new to you, but then also you'll see my feedback and then you'll be like, oh, okay, this is what Dr. Chase was talking about, and you will be making professional LibGuides when you are a professional. But yeah, that does mean making some mistakes now, and that is okay. And because you are going to make some mistakes now, yes, you're going to have probably lower than a 25 out of 25, but don't take that personally. Don't think that that's going to ruin your final grade, because it's not. This class is set up so that you can miss a few points and still get an A if that's what you're shooting for, okay? But some other things that I want to just point out. This is one of the reasons why you don't want to pick something that's too narrow, because you are going to have a variety of certain source types that you are going to have to find. And so if you make your topic too narrow, then it will be difficult to find a biographical source or a geographic source, or government, or those sorts of things. Now, also, if you have any trouble finding one of those source types, that's when you can contact me and I will assist you with that. Okay, so yeah, if you have any trouble finding any of these source types, just let me know. Another thing to mention is, I'm going to scroll, and just let you all know that this is something that people miss every single semester, so I'm hoping that you all won't miss this. This tutorial is supposed to be 3 minutes or less, that video. So there is a video component to this, and I'll talk about the video component. I'll talk about the video component in the prompt. And your video tutorial needs to be 3 minutes or less. And every semester, there's at least one person who goes and gives like a 7-minute video, like double what I said you could do. And yes, you're going to lose points for that, okay? But the thing about the Wikipedia assignment that I do also want to mention when it comes to losing points or not losing points, you don't have to worry about APA in this at all. You don't have to worry about citing sources at all. Don't worry about that, all right? So that is something that you can kind of ease your mind about. Pause. So some other things that I want to quickly mention. First of all, I do want to kind of just drive home that this is an assignment that has a very large rubric, as I've said, and so with this large rubric, I'm sure that some of you, if not all of you, are probably thinking to yourselves, why is he only giving us basically 2 weeks to complete something that has this very large rubric attached to it? And what I'm going to say to that is, once you all get into professional practice, you are actually going to be probably expected to do a professional level LibGuide within 2 or 3 days, okay? This is a condensed semester. The summer semester is a condensed semester, so every week is 2 weeks, like I've told you all several times before. And so if you have 2 weeks to do this assignment, like I'm assuming that a lot of you won't start on this assignment until after the 10th. So until after you, until after the 7th, I'm sorry. So until after you turn in the LibGuide, the Wikipedia edit assignment, that's when you're going to start on your LibGuide assignment. But, again, if you have 2 weeks to do the assignment in a summer class, that's like having a month to do it in a regular semester class, okay? But I'm also going to give you all a little bit of leeway, as far as I'm not going to grade as harshly because you only got 2 weeks. I'm not going to grade as harshly as I grade these during the spring and fall. So you do have that going for you, and you can start now. But most certainly, as soon as you turn in that Wikipedia edit assignment on Sunday night, I would go ahead and get prepared to get starting on the LibGuide right away, right after that. And then another thing that I want you all to remember is that you can, if you want to have your topic approved by me, you can ask me. But outside of that, you can do your LibGuide on something that you'll consider fun. And I did have somebody ask if they could do their LibGuide on gardening. That is absolutely fine. So if that's a topic you like, you can go ahead and pursue a LibGuide on the topics that you like. Let's see what else we need to bring up. So here's one point that I want to mention, because I said there are a few other things I want to talk about. So one thing that I want to talk about really quickly is one of my recommendations is that you may want to actually save your LibGuide, save your link. These actually don't go away after the semester ends, so you can always contact me and be like, hey, Dr. Jace, I did a LibGuide in your class summer 2024. I was wondering if you could give me the link to that LibGuide so that I can include it in application materials, or so that I can include it in my ePortfolio, which if when you all do your ePortfolio, which will be the final spring or final fall that you're in the program, when you do your ePortfolio, the LibGuide project corresponds with student learning outcome number 4, or SLO number 4, okay? Number 4. And that is in the prompt also. So yes, if you are thinking about, okay, what am I going to put in my ePortfolio when it's time, this is one of the assignments that you probably want to include if you get a good job, if you get a good grade on it, okay? So yes, a lot of students do include their LibGuide in their job application materials, and that's totally fine if you want to do that. And if so, save the link. And then also a lot of students do use this assignment for one of their SLO 4 assignments for the ePortfolio. Another thing, and this is a don't. So as far as do's and don'ts, here is a don't. Every semester I do have students who password protect their LibGuides before they get a grade. And I don't know why they do that, but it makes it hard for me to actually find your LibGuide. I mean, it makes it hard for me to actually grade your LibGuide if I can't see it. You might understand how me not being able to see it will make it hard for me to grade it. So do not password protect your LibGuides until after you receive a grade for the assignment. And again, please know that that does ruin, it straight up ruins my my flow when it comes to grading, because I can grade, and then all of a sudden now I got to stop and ask you for your password, then I got to wait for you to find your password. And while I'm waiting for you, yeah, I can go back and grade other things, but that does slow the rhythm down, and it makes me have to circle back with you to do all these things. So do not password protect your LibGuide until after you get a grade. Another thing that I want to mention just very quickly is to make sure that what you're doing is not too broad or too narrow. That it will probably be self-explanatory. If it's too broad, then you are not going to logically be able to gather sources around each other, because there's no logic to the grouping of the sources. But if your subject matter is too narrow, then you might not be able to find some of these source types that you need. And so again, when I talk about the source types that you need, you do need biographical, you do need geographic, you need government, at least one of those, at least one index and or full text database thing, at least one thing from a directory, so forth and so on, okay? So with that said, again, narrow subject matters are going to prevent you from being able to get all of those source types. And I'm going to actually make just a very crude comparison right now between two musical artists. If you did a LibGuide on Michael Jackson is such a big name, and there's so much out there about him that yes, you probably will, even with the government information stuff, you probably will find something of every source type on Michael Jackson. But let's say you did somebody who was a little less well known. Let's say instead of Michael Jackson, you did Terrence Trent D'Arby. And some of you may not know who Terrence Trent D'Arby is. That's okay. Google him. You can find some of his music online and that sort of thing. But I'll just say he was a artist who reached his peak in popularity in the late 80s. And there will not be, if you try to do a Terrence Trent D'Arby LibGuide, you're not going to find all of those source types on Terrence Trent D'Arby. You're not going to find the government information. You're not going to find probably the geographic information either, okay? So just keep those things in mind as you go forward. And another quick note that I want you all to be aware of, I do actually allow for you all, and if your coworker is like, wait, what? Then you can show your coworker this part of this video. I actually do allow for you all to, if you want to learn the LibGuides and learn how to do LibGuides by yourself, that's fine. However, if you are somebody who works with somebody who knows how to do LibGuides, and that person is willing to guide you through the process, in other words, they're willing to walk step by step with you to create a LibGuide, that is totally fine. That is totally fine. However, what they cannot do is do the LibGuide for you. If I find out that somebody did a LibGuide for you, then I'm going to consider that cheating, and then I'm going to fail you and report you. But if you, I don't consider it cheating if you work alongside a coworker to actually walk through the LibGuide creation process and create a LibGuide alongside a coworker or somebody who knows how to do them. What's important is that you learn how to do it, not that you learn how to do it by yourself, but that you learn how to do it, okay? So you can do it by yourself, you can learn how to do it by yourself, or you can learn how to do your LibGuide with a coworker or other partner who knows how to do it, okay? I'm totally fine with that. And again, if your coworker says, hey, that's cheating, no, I can't help you with that, just show them this video and say, Dr. J said you could do it, all right? All right, and the last thing that I want to mention, and we should be able to keep, I hope you sped this up, but we should be able to keep this one under 20 minutes, even unsped up. But the last thing that I do want to mention is that you all are going to want to, some of you at least, are going to want to actually put something in the assignment submission portal. Because here's another thing that happens pretty much every semester is when it comes to the LibGuide is not, LibApps is not linked to Canvas in any way, right? So completing the LibGuide does not automatically show up on Canvas, if that makes sense. So some of you are probably going to be like, hey, Dr. Jace, this thing is showing that the LibGuide is due. I created a LibGuide, but Canvas is still showing me that the LibGuide is due. What do I do? And if that becomes an issue for you, then what you can do is come over here and just once you've actually completed and published your LibGuide, it's going to have like a URL, right? And what you can do is just copy and paste your LibGuide URL as text and then click submit, and that should do I don't know, I'll just do libguide.com. That's not really a thing, but okay. So if you were to do this, then it's going to show up as a submission, but you could like put your link in there, like link to your LibGuide. If you type that in the, or copy and paste that into the text area of assignment submission, then I'm going to get an announcement that I'm going to get an announcement that you did that. And I'm going to get to click that link and go straight to your LibGuide. And Canvas is going to show that you submitted something, so then you don't have to worry about, oh man, it's showing that I haven't submitted anything. No, once you put that link in there, that's probably the easiest way to get Canvas to say, hey, they submitted something. And from there, you should be good to go. So outside of that, there's not really too much to know. Just if you have any questions, hit me up, just ask me. But from here, yeah, if you're still really, really nervous, then what I recommend you do, again, watch that video that I'll link below, and then also you'll see some other guidance and that sort of thing below in the text, and a link to a tutorial from the LibApps people. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I am Dr. Jace, and I think that it is getting pretty hot in this place because it is July and it feels like it. I hope you all enjoy a wonderful Independence Day. Take care.